This is Dr. James, and today I'm going to talk about an interesting idea I got from going to ham radio. I used to go to these ham radio swap meets, and one of the guys there was, I just overheard him talking about how he had a way to foil Doppler-Radar. So what he was doing was he took a corner reflector, which returns radio waves or radar waves, high frequency radiation, electromagnetic radiation. When it comes in, it reflects 1, 2, 3 times, and it comes back out and goes exactly back to the transmitter. So it gives you a very high gain return, and it's a very nice device for testing out radars or returning signals. And the way Doppler radar works is for instance, you're talking about like police radars or something, where they try to shine this radiation at your car, shining radiation at you without your permission. It hits your car, and it will have if your car is coming toward it, it will shift the frequency up to what was called Doppler, or if your car is going away from it, it will shift the frequency down. And these devices will have some kind of heterodyne mixer probably in them, and they will look for the shifted frequency, because you can separate the transmit frequency from the shifted frequency. The shifted frequency will shift depending on how fast you're going, and they'll be able to measure you. And now we have machines that basically sit there and shine radiation on you without your permission. Take a picture of your car, send you accuse your car of a crime, right? Make you liable for the crime that your car allegedly committed, send you harassing tickets in the mail, and then make you liable, make you liable for the crimes that your car allegedly committed, and you are guilty until presumed innocent. Now, how is all this legal? I don't think it is. My buddy actually figured out that we have 3 branches of government: the legislative, which makes the laws; the judicial, which is supposed to make judgments on the laws; and the executive, which is where the enforcement or the policing occurs to enforce the laws. And they're supposed to be separate branches. So if one of these is doing something unconstitutional, which is illegal, the other branch, like the judicial, is supposed to stop them. But what happens if the one that's taking the money sets a little bit aside in a coffer and then feeds it as kickbacks to another branch so that they go along with what they're doing? Then they'll both work together, right? Remember I said before in my videos, the whole system runs on the TBCD rule: thievery, bribery, corruption, and deception. And I believe that's probably what's going on here. So anyway, let's not talk about politics, let's talk about science. So here we have this ultrasonic dog device, which puts out super high power sound. What happens if I put this Doppler reflector in front of it and it vibrates it so that it's moving back and forth at a very high speed? And then someone shines a radar at this. The radio waves come into here, and if this thing is vibrating, they'll be Doppler shifted and go back to the original radio source, and it will appear as if you're moving very fast. Now, the reason why the person came up with this, I remember overhearing him, is that it would be illegal for you to make a device to produce radiation yourself. It's okay for them to produce radiation and shine it at you without your permission. But you can't make a source and shine it back and tune it. But if they're shining radiation at you anyway, and you modify it and send it back to them, I mean, who can blame you for that, right? It's completely your right to do whatever you want with the radiation that they're giving to you, right? Anyway, so it seemed like an interesting science experiment, and they're always putting up more machines to monitor you and track you and harass you as part of the New World Order. So let's take a look at one of these machines in our local neighborhood and see if this device actually works the way it was claimed to work. Should be an interesting experiment. Okay, let's see if we can make a corner reflector out of aluminum foil. And so let's cut a square approximately. And I'm not sure the optimum size for this, so I'm just going to guess. Really depends on the frequency that you're trying to reflect. So remember, let me get this cut first. Okay, so there we have a square, and it's probably about, I don't know, 9 inches by 9 inches. It's not perfectly square, maybe I'll square it up. So remember, a corner reflector is an amazing device that it has 3 sides, and it reflects radio waves, or you can even use them for light prisms. They're polished flat enough. Reflects light exactly, or radio waves, radiation, exactly back to where it came from. So in radar, you can use that to give you a really high return back to your source if you want to test your radar system. Okay? Because the radar sends out a signal from over here and it hits the corner reflector, it's going to come exactly back to it and give it a really high signal. Okay. It's kind of like a retro reflector antenna. Okay. There. So let's fold it the other way. And I guess it doesn't have to be perfect to work. It's just gotta be good enough, right? But we could trim it up and make it look a little bit nicer. Make it a little bit squarer. Okay. So I'm folding it along the corners. Okay. Come on. And so that's not quite a corner reflector. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold one of these quadrants in half, like so. See how we're going to do this. I think I'll fold it inward. Like that. Okay. So I'm folding it inward like that, and I'm just going to fold it off to one side and flatten it out. And so it makes like the corner of a box. See that? It's like a 90-degree corner of the box, and this will probably work better if it's more flat, because it's not going to reflect the radio waves in a coherent manner. If it's got a bunch of ripples, you want them to be coherent when they come back to the source. Okay. Oh, look at that. Beautiful corner reflector, huh? Okay. Well, we'll have to test this thing out now. Okay, so here we are. Our local neighborhood friendly bureaucrats have put up a little neighborhood thing to monitor our speed while we're driving around, and let's take a look here. Hopefully it's still here. There it is. So what it does is it has, I'm not sure if it has a laser or a radar. I guess it doesn't make a difference because it measures Doppler, and we're going to change Doppler. And so it's a little thing along the side of the road here, and it measures your speed. See that? Measures your speed, and it tells you how fast you're going. And that's convenient because then they probably can figure out economically where they can make the most money by setting up more speed traps, right? Because isn't that all about what it's all about? How much money can they make from harassing you and stealing your hard-earned cash, violating your constitutional rights? Let's take a look at this thing a little bit closer. 'em. 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 5 miles an hour. I don't know if we can see that very well. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to use this device, this ultrasonic device from my dog video here. And I'm going to stick some earplugs in because it's really annoyingly loud. But you want something that's very loud because loud sound waves are going to translate into high speed. Okay, here we go. We have a car coming up. I don't know if you can see that. It's going 30 some miles an hour. 38. Oh, it's going fast. Okay, so let's get our earplugs in and we will test this thing out to see if it works. Should be interesting. Okay, just look a little bit what we're doing here. So I'm turning this guy on, and sometimes I have to fiddle with the knob to get the frequency to start. And then I'm just bringing the corner reflector. I'm trying to grab it at the corner so I don't interfere with the vibrations of it too much. And just try to vibrate the hell out of it, sticking it right up near the speaker cone. And turn this thing off. That's really annoying. So just taking this, put it right up there, and trying to vibrate it with the sound waves so we can get a good Doppler shift. Now one thing is though is that I was thinking maybe some of the issue might be is that the radar detector may be smart, and it may see a Doppler signal that's shifting, because when it vibrates it's going to shift forward and shift back very fast. So it's going to have a big Doppler shift, but it won't necessarily be in the same direction. So maybe if it's averaging over time, it's having an issue with that also. Of course, it could be also that it's too high of a velocity, and it's not you know, it's out of the range of what this device is designed to measure. So anyway, we'll fiddle with this and see if we can get it to work. Should be interesting. Okay, I think we're in focus here. And so we have our corner reflector and our sound device. Okay. Turn on the sound. Up here, like so. And we'll test this device out once these cars go by. Okay. Oh. Okay, it seems to be triggering on the cars, but not my device. Okay. So anyway, it looks like it's not triggering right. Another car coming. So the cars seem to trigger this device, but my sound waves are not. Okay, so actually I found out that if I got very close to this device, hopefully I didn't wreck my sound die. Okay, it will actually trigger it at a high level. So let me fix my corner reflector. And so maybe the radar cross-section is too low, or maybe it's going at too high of a velocity, but it seems to be causing a problem here. Let's get our dog device working here, and if we bring it up very close. cow. Did you see that? It started flashing like it was way over the speed. And there was no cars around when that happened, so that was this thing. It's probably like 100 miles an hour or something, I don't know. So maybe the oscillator's set to look for things too low, and if you see something that's very Doppler shifted up, then it doesn't like that signal. But when it started flashing, that means you're going way over the speed limit. So it appears our device is working. Okay, anyway, this is Dr. James, and thanks for watching. Okay, so I think our experiment was a success. And what do you say we get out of here before trouble comes? Because, God forbid, you wouldn't want to do something out of the social norm, even if you're not breaking any laws. It's perfectly in my right to drive down the road and receive radiation that is transmitted at me by our local government, by machines like this, without my permission. And it's perfectly in my right to videotape it, since they videotape us constantly, right? Without our permission. Cameras are everywhere. It's a new world order. And this is Dr. James, and thanks for watching.